you all see like Comic Gate on Twitter? I tweeted, it sure is a good thing that I'm like away from stream right now, so I can't make things worse by commenting on it. Yeah, between Basil and House of Decline. It was really funny to watch. I can't believe how big that got. A what gate? Oh man, they deleted the did they delete it? Is the like existing? No, it's still here. It's still here. Okay. Yeah. I just thought, I can't believe how big this got. I genuinely didn't know. It got huge. Basil from Amori? No. This Basil is even more morally heinous. Yes, content. More like context, right? Okay. Well, what's this on about? Oh, have I like juiced it up enough? You know, I kind of promised to make it worse like via adjacency. Okay, so anyway, look. Some enterprising geniuses. What the is going on in the What's Happening tab? Thank you, Elon's Twitter. Anyway, some conservative geniuses, entrepreneurs, put this out. Anti-woke water becomes a hit for conservatives who brag about the unapologetic drink. Where does it say the price? Where does it say the price? A 12-pack costs $21. There it is. Nice. Ingenious. I support this, okay? You know, wonderful stuff. Thank you. It's just like the anti-woke beer from last year. I love it, okay? It's very, very, very funny, okay? So, anyway, House of Decline, who is... if I even said this on screen, House Decline is a transgender woman now. How crazy is that? Really, the beam really does hit all of them, doesn't it? All, like... Twitter comic artists, I feel the beam has a wide spread, is what I'm saying, you know? You understand what I'm talking about. And the his, hers chocolate from the Daily Wire, I completely forgot about that. Anyway, there's an old House of Decline comic. See, look, it's man, I'm tired of not selling any lemonade. Anti-woke lemonade. Young man, I'd like to support your business. This feels wrong, but the money kind of helps. It's a cute little comic. Obviously, like House of Decline puts out like maybe 56 comics a minute. So it's one of those like Simpsons did it moments where anytime anything happens, you can pull it back to one of her comics. She likes drawing like people with like their dicks out, you know, but it's not really in a sexy way. It's just kind of in a weirdly humanizing way. Like it destigmatizes the idea of all humans walking around with their erect penises out at all times, like in a completely non-sexual way. If you've seen it, you've seen it. If not, I'm not here to explain it to you, okay? Ask your parents when you're old enough. I don't know. So, Twitter oomphy and liberal, Basil, said, on my knees begging leftist comic artists to stop adding unnecessary text, holy shit. And then crossed out in red X's all the text, except for the text on the sign, with attempting to illustrate the point that like lefty memes are too wordy, which in fairness, lefty memes are known to be too wordy. That's not exactly like the first time that take has been put out. So I don't want to be presumptuous here, okay? Because I don't know if it's the case. I feel like Basil here is being somewhat influenced by a take that I had like 4 or 5 years ago. Okay? So, I don't know if you've heard of this guy, okay? There's this Nazi comic artist called Stone Toss, makes real punchy comics, right? And I've said that the key to political propaganda is like succinct relatability, and that oftentimes it can be difficult to effectively communicate an argument in like comic format if you load it down with words. Now, I have to say, I think that my perspective on this has evolved a little bit since I made that point like 5 years ago or whatever, because I think that while some people are really, really responsive to comics that best imitate the punchiness of like a right-wing talking point, you know, short, quippy, wrong, there are people who are much more responsive to something that pertains to their, you know, humanity, for example. I think House of Decline does a really good job with that in particular, where there's a kind of like underlying sympathy and like humanization even in these very simply drawn comics that makes you feel like they're very, I don't know, emotionally loaded. Does that make sense? So I don't think necessarily that being succinct is always a good thing. I don't know if like my initial take informed the take that Basil had or whatever, but this led into like a whole goddamn thing, man. So here's the comparison to a very punchy Stone Toss comic. Right here. I will be on this point again and again until we stop letting Nazi dumb make better comics than us. And then like the images display the message perfectly already, and then Basil links to a person who edited the comic to indicate that, in fairness, the comic's essential message is maintained without the text bubbles. That is true. That is true. And then House of Decline, so you can see her down here. I really like House of Decline. I don't think she likes me. In fact, I'm almost certain that she doesn't, which is unfortunate. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm only human. But I am a House of Decline stan. I am rooting for her. You know, I've got my thumbs up, you know, generally speaking. I support the project. But anyway, House of Decline responds with, "This isn't that much text. I just think that you don't like to read, which would explain the general vibe of abject stupidity from you." Basil responds, "Look, I like your comics and your ideas, but you got to learn how to take any minor criticism without devolving into personal attacks." And then House of Decline says, "But I straight up don't like you on a personal level." Fantastic stuff. Great incitement for content. Zoom out there, you know? Really, really, really out there. And this led to, like, I'm not kidding, like 3 days of discourse. House's tweets were funnier. IMO, she wins. I respect the straight up, I don't like you on a personal level. Yeah, this was, okay, this is like such a minor thing, I feel, in like the, like relative to any political shit we go over, but there's like so much here that ended up being interesting from a distance. You know what I mean? Like that I think is worth discussion. Now that's deranged, TBH. Thank you, token_destiny_fan. So first of all, we need to be clear about something, okay? Right? Because like, this is rude as shit, right? Like just randomly going, oh, like this art is bad. They did it bad. Red X's. Please stop adding unnecessary text. Holy shit. Like I'm gonna like keep keep doing this. Don't add unnecessary text, blah, blah, blah. Like, obviously, if you're doing that in public, like it's a personal attack. You're inviting criticism. I don't understand what the impetus is for House of Decline to act professionally, because she's not a professional. It's not a professional environment. You know, we're not all like wearing suits in an office. It's like, it's beefing on Twitter. You don't have to, you can say you dislike people. Frankly, I think that, I actually like what House of Decline did here a lot, because I think people do that like reflexive rationalization thing really often, where they'll say, no, the reason I acted this way is because like there's a specific thing you did and I'm responding in this way. Whereas in this case, she's being honest and she's just saying, yeah, I don't like you, which is based. Wouldn't life be so much better if people could admit that? Like, I wish people would do that with me. People are always like, I don't like Vosh because of then like 57 like incoherent reasons. They can just say they don't like me. I'm not going to argue against that. That's fine. Whatever. Like, just admit it. Just admit that like you're emotionally biased against me. That's human. That's normal. I have emotional biases. That's correct, you know? Anyway, this went like crazy. I mean, millions and millions of views and people battling back and forth and everything. I mean, I think that if the only point made from Lucas was that the comic's essential message is conveyed without text, then that would be a correct one. But obviously in like the broader scope of things and how the information was delivered, I think the antagonism from House of Decline was perfectly warranted. IMO. I do think that it's worthwhile to be punchy in political comics, but also like House of Decline isn't like a political comic artist. She kind of just draws like a bunch of different stuff. Most of it's mostly related to her own thoughts and feelings in her personal world. So I don't think you can go like, oh yeah, like you make like 50 comics a day and like you're obligated to structure all of them with like the punchiest possible, you know, like a bumper sticker on the back of a car where you're trying to get someone to vote some certain way, you know? You get what I'm talking about, right? House can make some real bangers, not gonna lie. Yeah, the House comic about the merged arms and the serrated knife in the neck. Jesus Christ, she's got a. She took a while to come out, I'll say that much. Oh boy. Do you think anyone's ever been swayed by a bumper sticker? Probably not a bumper sticker, no. You know, they're mostly about reaffirming the smug, like pre-held beliefs of people who already agree with the sentiment there. She's up in a based way. I agree. She's up in a based way, you know. Oh yeah, the We've Got to Kill This Guy, Steven, a classic. Instant classic, really. New comic. I mean, it might have the dicks out, you know, I can't. The dicks are not out, but yeah, nice comic. Nice comic. Good comic. House looking cool. Yeah, I respect it too. Honestly, she's making you guys look like pussies. You've got like 22-year-old trans women on Twitter who follow me who have been on HRT for 3 years and they're still boy moding. Meanwhile, House hasn't gotten HRT yet and is going out to the club and like ready to serve, you know? Really, honestly, just kind of showing all of you up. Like, you all look like losers, I think, you know? No HRT. Yeah, she came out like 5 minutes ago, you know? Unfortunately, that one cut me a little personally. Yeah, you know, it should. Live your life. Well, this is not a boy mode respecting channel. I don't respect this. I'm not engaging with this like anime twee fetishistic like what if it was hot that you had low self-esteem. I'm not here for that, okay? You need to live life. There's always time. Live, you know? You are wearing black hoodies and it is 83 degrees out. Come on. I'm pretty sure she has pre and post transition pics. That was like with presentation. She literally just posted she's not on HRT yet, you know? Layla Spellman, you don't have to accept that. She's literally not on HRT. You keep linking Good House of Decline comics. I'm not looking at her comics. Yeah, it's makeup, not a transition. Anyway, it's not about that, I guess. It's just about the broader drama. I think Stone Toss made a comic of all this, and it was like some edgy, like, I'm going to acknowledge the drama in like an edgy way without even commenting on it kind of thing. I don't even remember what it was. I just remember that it was like edgy. I don't know. Pretty silly, I feel. She had the one big stinker. You mean the You Are Not Special comic? I remember that. I thought that was awesome, mostly because it made people mad. I think that we should be making people mad more often, you know? No, that one was great. Okay. That's her? The You're Not Special one? Too negative? You have to confront your feelings, man. Really, Vosh? Yeah, you have to confront your feelings, even if it makes you uncomfortable. You can read a comic that tells you that your life means nothing, and the purpose of the comic is for you to reject it. That's art. You can like engage with the thesis of like life is meaningless so you can reject it. Like, and the rejection of it gives you a stronger hold on life's purpose than just never having that point challenged, you know? I think that's what that was for, and I think it's a great thing personally, in my humble opinion.